News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's your closing bell on Wall Street, where the rebound halted ahead of NVIDIA's earnings report. It's seen as pivotal for the entire stock market. We do bring you the closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 lost 33 points. NASDAQ lost 98. The Dow lost 245 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.47%. The 2-year yield at 3.98%. Stay with Bloomberg for full coverage of NVIDIA's earnings, including an interview with CEO Jensen Huang. That's a special edition of Bloomberg Technology starting at 6:30 tonight, Wall Street time, on Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Podcasts page on YouTube. Also, shares of chip makers Cadence and Synopsys declined when President Trump ordered U.S. chip software designers to stop its sales in China. The Financial Times reporting the Trump administration has reportedly told a group of U.S. companies offering software to design semiconductors to stop selling their services to China. Tesla is set to launch its Robotaxi service in Austin on June 12th. It is a key milestone in Elon Musk's plan to focus on driverless vehicles and AI. Tesla plans to start with a fleet of about 10 self-driving robotaxis in Austin before expanding to 1,000 vehicles within a few months. The goal is to make robotaxi service central to its business. President Trump wants Harvard to cap its foreign student enrollment at 15%.
You know, these countries aren't helping us. They're not investing in Harvard and all of our, we are. So why would 31%, why would a number so big? I think, number one, I think they should have a cap of maybe around 15%.
The Trump administration continues to do battle with Harvard, freezing billions of dollars in grants and contracts, threatening its tax-exempt status. Education Secretary Linda McMahon tells CNBC that universities must be, quote, in sync with the Trump administration, adding that now they have to respond to Harvard's lawsuit. Apple is planning to change its operating system names to be identified by year rather than version number to bring consistency to its branding and reduce confusion. The new naming strategy will be announced at the Worldwide Developers Conference June 9th. It will include fresh user interfaces across operating systems, which they're calling Solarium internally. Federal Reserve officials agreed to take a patient approach to interest rate adjustments because of heightened economic uncertainty. Bloomberg's Amara Omokwe got a look at the Fed minutes.
Policymakers were broadly in agreement that heightened economic uncertainty, largely related to President Donald Trump's tariffs policy, made it appropriate to continue to take a cautious approach to adjusting interest rates.
They judged the risks of both higher unemployment and inflation had risen since their previous meeting, and they're willing to keep interest rates on hold for some time until the economic outlook becomes more clear. President Trump dismissed criticism from Elon Musk, his billionaire donor and advisor, over the cost of his signature tax bill, telling reporters that compromises had to be made to secure the necessary votes.
Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We need to get a lot of support.
Florida Republican Representative Byron Donalds agrees with Musk.
When it comes to spending cuts, yeah, Elon's right on this. And so that was a major sticking point for a lot of conservatives in the House. They want to see real spending cuts in these packages.
Download the Balance of Power podcast to hear that full conversation with Representative Donalds. President Trump says he's very disappointed by Russia's continued strikes on Ukraine.
We're going to find out whether or not he's tapping us along or not. And if he is, we'll respond a little bit differently. But it'll take about a week and a half, 2 weeks. We have Mr. Witkoff is here, who's doing a phenomenal job.
Trump referring there to Steve Witkoff, his special envoy to the Middle East, as he spoke to reporters in the Oval Office just after the swearing-in ceremony of former Fox TV host Jeannie Pirro as U.S. Attorney in D.C. Meanwhile, Germany says it will provide Ukraine with 5 billion euros in military aid to help build long-range weapons to hit targets on Russian territory. They say the first systems will be operational in the coming weeks. President Trump says the U.S. government would retain guarantees and an oversight role over Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, even as he pursues a public offering for the mortgage giants. Bloomberg's Josh Wingrove with those details.
Biden, on the way out, some of his staff tried to set like a game plan for how bringing these companies public would look. In other words, they kind of tried to tie Trump's hands a little bit.
Hear more from Bloomberg's Josh Wingrove on the Bloomberg Surveillance podcast. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.